While imagining a castle built in white with a great interior and seems like a glass house, the reality dawns on this young man as he gets hit by a truck. He feels as if everything around him breaks, and it seems like a castle he has seen earlier is trying to reconstruct itself into what it is. In a room that seems like half and void, a room that seems like everything around it is just trying to recreate itself with pieces that are coming back together. This man wakes up. He isn't sure of his reality, but he knows he is an architect in his life. He stands up from the bed, and he sees the new world, a world filled with fragments and growing items that looks like fungi. He stands up and looks around the house. There, he sees a fridge. It seems like he hasn't understood the reality of where he is the moment he opens the fridge, and he feels as if the other part of the fridge is growing. He continues and closes it back. When it does, the fridge sounds like something is inside of it, but to his amazement, when he opens it again, he finds nothing. He sees an architectural plan, and he sees the top part of the fridge is growing. He keeps trying to understand what's happening and sees a cloth on the floor. He removes the cloth, and he understands that he isn't in a complete house as the part of the floor seems growing and black. He runs out of the room terrified. He sees another man by the stairs and breaths a breath of relief that he is fine. He touches the man to call his attention and sees the man is also empty and has void parts in him. He screams and runs out of the house. He takes the stairs and finds his way around the city. He sees the building void like an electromagnetic field. He walks around and he sees a tall building with great architectural designs. As he looks at it, the building builds itself completely, and he is amazed at its beauty. While he engrosses himself in that beautiful view, he sees a creature jumping from another building. He wonders what it is and sees the creature coming near him. He tries to walk back, but it's too late, and the creature attacks him. He falls, and when he opens his eyes, he sees two people in front of him, a female, Fly, and a man, Pilot. They help him up, and they tell the last person who was with them, Phantom, that he is the one they are looking for. The young man wonders what's happening. Phantom tells Fly and Pilot to take him away while Phantom stays behind to stop the creature for a while. He shoots the creature and goes to meet them on a rooftop. When they get there, the places in front of them are void and empty. It seems like a far distance, but Fly asks the man to jump. He refuses to jump, seeing how it seems like suicide, but Phantom pushes him. He finds himself in a marketplace with several people around them. Pilot and Fly keep telling him to run fast, and he also notices the creature coming behind them. They get to another endpoint, and Fly tells him to trust her. Phantom jumps first, and Fly follows. Pilot also goes, and they try to beg the man to join them. He looks at the distance between where they are and where he is and thinks it is risky for him to jump that far. He stands and looks at them, then notices the creature coming after him. He is stuck between two evils, either jumping to meet the agents on the other side or waiting for the creature to devour him. He jumps to meet them, but his jump isn't perfect. He doesn't get to the cliff and holds the wall to hang there. Fly comes to drag him out, but she is too weak to do so. Pilot joins her. The creature is also preparing for its jump, so to save them, Phantom drags the man away and shoots the creature. They continue to hide from the creature while it tries to gather itself back and attack again. They are stuck by a building, and the creature keeps gathering itself to attack back. Phantom uses his hands to hold Fly and the new man while he tells Pilot that he had warned them earlier that they won't survive that trip and they will be killed. Pilot decides to use a bomb that will destroy the user and the creature. Fly tries to stop him, but Phantom holds her. Pilot uses the bomb to destroy the creature. After Pilot dies, Phantom is about to continue his journey, and he calls Fly. Fly tells the man that from that place, he is on his own. He tells them that if they want him to follow them, then they have to tell him what's going on, who he is, and what he is doing there. Phantom asks him to stay if he wants to stay, and Phantom leaves with Foy. He follows them, and on the way, he asks Fly what's happening. He asks Fly if he is dead and where he is. Fly tells him he is in coma, and everyone there is in coma. Everything they have seen, the void buildings, the people, they are all memories. She explains to him that their memories, while aren't, are stored in an electromagnetic field, and when in a coma, the memories turn into a reality, and they live in reality. He refuses to believe her asking her what the creatures chasing them are, but before she speaks, Phantom asks her to secure the perimeter. He asks her where they are going, and she shows him a bus in the city. He follows her onto the bus, where she further explains that whatever they see there is in their memory, and anything they aren't seeing is not in their memory. They get to the coma is hiding, and people ask them about Pilot. Phantom explains that when they were in trouble, Pilot used the whistle to destroy the Reaper, and he reveals that the creature is called Reaper. One of the people asks him why he will allow Pilot to do such a thing, and he says they would have all died. He says he had warned them that going on that trip was risky and the plan they gave him was wrong. Their leader Yan tells them Pilot's death will be worth it and Fly should take the new man around their colony. As Fly leaves, Phantom asks another member, Tank, if they have burnt the bridge, but Tank says they are low on explosives and they are trying to manage the explosives that they have. Fly takes the new man inside. She narrates that the city is being disturbed by the Reapers and they burn the bridges. However, if someone else remembers that bridge, it will build itself back, so they have to be on the watch. She tells him they have all heard about a place in Coma that doesn't have Reapers, and they are trying to find someone who can take them there, and Yan thinks the new man can help them. He tells her he doesn't remember his name, but she says everyone else does not too, so he has to name himself before someone names him. She shows him the rooms, and in the first room, he sees an extension of different things inside. She tells him they are dreams. Whenever they sleep, they have dreams just like reality, and the dreams form any one memory. He asks about Yan, and she tells them he is their boss there. She says he has been out of coma before and returned, so he was the first person to know about how life can be in coma, and he taught them how to live, so they all owe their lives to him, including him. She eventually takes him to his room. He sees that the room is empty, and she tells him that when he also starts having dreams, his room will get filled. Before she leaves, he asks her if she is dating Phantom. She refuses to reply at first, but she eventually does. She tells him no, but says Phantom likes to believe they are dating. After she leaves, he settles to sleep, and he dreams about his glass house dream and the glass that splinted on his face before he fell into a coma. As a result of his dreams, he also gets an extension of dreams in his room, and his room starts filling. He sees the building again, and when he wakes up, he attempts to enter the extended part of his dreams, which is in the room. As he walks towards it, Phantom arrives. He says that he is sure Yan is correct about the boy being special. He apologizes for treating him badly on their first meeting, and says he hopes he will be a great plus to the team. He tells him that he loves Fly and Fly is his girl, so if he doesn't want issues with him in the building, he shouldn't get nearer to Fly. Sarcastically, the man replies that he doesn't see the love between Phantom and Fly. This makes Phantom, who has been trying to make friends with him, become his enemy. Phantom says Yan may see something in the new man that makes him want to add him to the group, but Phantom is the leader of the crew, and he has the right to add or remove someone, so it's between if the new man makes friends with him than becoming his enemy. Phantom commands him to stand up immediately and tells him that, as his commander, he has the right to make him do anything. Phantom takes him to meet his colleague outside, and Yan, Fly, and others look at him from the balcony. Phantom tells him that everyone there has different special powers. While Spirit has the power to see danger when it's coming, the Astronomer has the power to draw anything, while Pilot has the power to see a new person in a coma. Most of them find their powers when they are in danger, but they can't take him to the battlefield to ensure he is in danger, so all they can do to him is put him in a fake danger. He asks Gnome to throw a bomb at him, he tells the man to fight back, and they throw him several items. He is unable to fight back, and he doesn't have any power. Phantom tells him that he discovered his powers while on the battlefield, and since they can't take him to the battlefield, they will pretend he is on the battlefield by using a man-made Reaper against him. He brings out the Reaper that Gnome has made for him. He operates it so that it hits the man mercilessly, but he is still unable to do anything. Yan and Fly get discouraged and leave, while Phantom also tells him he is useless, so he has to join the workforce at home led by the Cable. He asks him what work he does and says he is an architect, so they start calling him Architect. Architect starts working with Cable, and Phantom comes out. He tells Cable they are going out to the warehouse he has found as they have new equipment to make explosives. He leaves, telling Architect to work because no one stays here without purpose. After he leaves, Cable tells Architect to be grateful. He says that working at home is better than being on the battlefield so that, at least, they won't die. He says architects should live their life there for as long as they can because when he wakes to the world is entirely different. Yan interferes in the conversation. He accepts that the world is different but tells Architect that no one knows when they could return to the world. He says that the time between the world and their side is around the ratio of 1 to 100, and 100 days in a coma is just like a day. He asks Architect if he wants to spend all his days there useless and says there is a way he could be useful. He admits Phantom got his powers on the battlefield, and now he is so useful to them if only Architect can also get his powers. Trying to do something for himself, Architect goes to Phantom and says he wants to go out too. Phantom refuses to take him along, but Yan commands him to do so. They leave for the journey, and the others try to tell Architect how their world is. They tell him that anywhere they are is a fragment of someone's memory, and where they found the explosive was part of Cable's memory. He talks about the memory of the building he has dreamed about and says he could also go there, but Phantom tells him he will get lost in the dreams. They see the Reapers, and he wonders where the Reapers are from. They explain to him that since they are in coma, their brain is dead, and their dead brains are what turn into the Reaper. The Reapers sense them because of their electromagnetic field. That's why no one has created the Whisper will drag the Reaper to just one of them, and the other will be able to escape. They eventually find the warehouse. They find some security there, and they wait. While they think of what to do, Phantom throws a bomb to drag the police out. The others get angry at him because he has exposed their hideout to their enemies. He goes there to fight while happily killing and destroying everyone, then smiling at Fly. He enters the quarters with Cable and tells Cable to break into the warehouse. He asks one of them to help him cover up as he enters inside, but it all ends badly when the guy gets injured. Astronomer fights back at the bridge, and Fly helps heal the injured guy. They enter the quarters and see Phantom happily hitting one of their enemies. Astronomer goes to him. He asks him why he will make that kind of reckless decision and risk the whole team. He says the Reaper would have sensed them due to the fight, and the Reapers would be on their way. Phantom asks Spirit if the Reapers are coming. He then goes to Astronomer and hits him. He tells him that he is the boss and no one should ever refuse his command again. He says he will rip Astronomer rip by rip if Astronomer ever talks to him like that. Cable succeeds in breaking the quarters open. They enter and meet different weapons. Phantom is glad about what they will do with the weapons inside the torpedo, while No and Cable try to bring it out. Cable tells them that they have to hold a chain to the weapon tight while he breaks it open, and they can take everything inside. He warns them beforehand that if it breaks, they will all explode. No has a bad feeling about where they are. He says he knows a part of that place before, and when he looks at the frost, he sees the Reaper. Astronomer reminds them of his earlier warning. While trying to be the boss, Phantom tells only Gnome and Architect to hold the chains while the others follow him to fight. Architect suddenly screams that they should all come back. The others realize that they will explode, so they come back and hold the chain. Phantom reminds them that he is the commander, so he attempts to shoot Architect for screaming, so Spirit takes his gun. They struggle with the gun until they mistakenly shoot the chain, and the tank starts falling. Suddenly, the Architect creates a larder from his imagination, Cable drags the tank on it, and they leave before the Reapers get there. They take the tank home, and the entire squad is proud of Architect. Phantom comes to him, asking him if he could use his powers to create bridges for them when they are on the battlefield. He tells him it's possible, and Phantom is proud that his skills will be useful. However, Yan has a different idea. He says he has always promised them he will get them to an island without the Reapers, and Architect is the one who can build it. He reminds them the reason the Reapers can get to them is their memories. So what if they build an island that is devoid of memories, a place that is filled with imagination, and it's Architect that can do it? Phantom protests. He says it's a miserable idea and Yan should speak to him about it first. Yan doesn't give Phantom any attention. He tells Architect that the mission is to find a safe place and Astronomer will lead the squad. Phantom gets angry. He apologizes for his misjudgment that morning but says it's not worth Yan taking his position from him. Yan reminds him that the safety of the squad members is paramount and Phantom fails. After promising to take them to the island, Architect realizes he can't do it. He goes outside to train and bring out a creation, but he can't. Fly comes out to meet him. She asks him why he will promise something like that when he has no way of achieving it. She tells him he can't control his powers, let alone use it. Architect realizes she is right. He says they were doing well without him, so he is going, but Fly tells him he can control it. She reminds him that a blueprint came out before he created the larder, so probably he should do it again. He realizes he has to make his whole architectural design before creating, so he tries it again, and it works. He happily asks her what she wants him to build for him. She goes nearer to what he has built, and she asks if she can see the islands of dreams in his room. She goes there, and she sees he has had many dreams. She tells him her dreams aren't that many as she doesn't have dreams but feelings. She sees he had a car accident and saw a lady in the car. She asks if he is in love with her, but he says he doesn't know. He tells her he doesn't feel like leaving that world again since he has seen her, and he has realized he has to make good use of his time there. She accepts his idea, tells her he likes her, and they kiss. Phantom, on the other hand, is angry. He has been touched by a Reaper, and his hands are getting destroyed. The next day, they start preparing to move to their island. Before leaving, Gnome goes to ask Phantom if they should hold a weapon, but Phantom tells him he should ask the Astronomer, who is now the head. Phantom takes a whistle with him. The Astronomer tells the others that there is a safe way to get them to their island without the Reapers, and they decide to take the route. When they leave their bus, they walk together and Architect holds Fly's hand. Everyone keeps telling Architect what they want him to build for them in that world, and Spirit tells them she is sensing the Reapers. Astronomer argues that it's not possible for Reapers to be there, but it turns out he is wrong. Phantom suggests that they all divide, so he says Tank should stay with Yan, but Yan insists he wants to stay with Architect. Architect says he will go to the rooftop, and when he stays there, Phantom holds the whistle and goes to him. It calls the Reaper to Architect, but Tank comes to save him. They realize it's Phantom who called the Reaper to them. Yan asks Architect and some others to return to the box, while Phantom goes to confront the Reaper hoping they will kill him. They refuse to kill him. As the others return to the bus, they realize that the Reapers are there. While they struggle, Architect feels weak and realizes he is waking up. He remembers his human memory. On the day of his accident, he was with Fly in the human world, and her both meet Teacher, a religious leader who was requested to buy his building plan. Fly believes the offer is too good to be true, so she begs Architect not to go, but Architect refuses. They get to the religious organization, and Fly isn't allowed in. She gives Architect a teaser to protect himself. He enters to meet Yan, who is the teacher, and Yan looks at the plan. Yan takes him to another room where he sees several humans who are taken to human-induced comas. Yan tells him that he has realized there is a coma world, but the brain-dead people who are from the hospitalized coma have turned into Reapers destroying the coma, so he needs him to go there and build an island that will be devoid of Reapers. Architect refuses to go, and they attempt to inject him, but he uses the teaser to tease them and escapes with the help of Fly. As they are driving away, the truck hits them, and they get to coma. Architect wakes up. Yan tells him that Fly was put in coma a few hours before him, and that's why Fly was there before him. Architect says what Yan is doing isn't right and asks about his religious group. Yan says he is only using religion to finance his acts. Yan asks Architect to return to coma and build the island. When Architect refuses, he reminds Architect that Fly is still there, and he promises Architect that he will give them a back door to leave coma when he is done with the building. Architect returns to coma. He meets the others while they are hiding, and he creates a bridge to take them to the island. He narrates to them that what they think is wrong and everything was done by Yan. When Yan arrives, he warns Architect about telling them. He, however, tells Architect to quickly build a bridge. Architect does so. He builds the castle, and Yan explains to them that Spirit sees hallucinations and she is always haunted by ghosts in the real world. Astronomer is an altruist, Tank is a drunk, Architect has a great dream, but no one to buy, and even Fly has left him for a richer man who bought her that car. He tells them they have nothing in the real world. When they ask to stay in coma, Yan says he can't allow them. He tells them they will tell the others about what has happened, so he has told his scientists to inject cerebral hypoxia into them, and they will die soon. Tank dies immediately, while Spirit starts feeling weak. Astronomers, Architects, and Fly decide their back door has to be the dreams Yan asked them not to enter. They get into Architect's dream, but they can't find the room. Astronomer dies in the process. Yan comes for Architect and attempts to kill them, but a Reaper attacks him. The Reaper leaves Architect and Fly, and they struggle to get to the back door. Architect wakes up first, and he goes to wake Fly. The scientists see them, and they also see Yan is dead. The lovers find their way from the religious organization. Sometime later, Architect is trying to design a less outrageous design, and Fly comes to him. They decide to take a stroll, and they read news about how the suit about the organization has been dropped, and everyone used in the experiment was used with consent. Fly is afraid they will come for them, but Architect tells her no. Architect takes a building plan and looks at it before hiding it. He takes the key with him as the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.